We have done everything now. Defined the research question, identified the data needs. Now, extremely to the power of infinity important. Study design. So study design can be characterized on the presence or absence of an intervention. Okay, whether an intervention, a medicine is present or absent. So here I'll be making three groups, rather three columns, yeah, to be precise. Study objectives, presence or absence of the intervention, and the level of evidence. Highest level, we will start from low and then we will move on upwards. This will make it super simple for all of you to understand, so that you can memorize everything in one go only. This will make everything super simple for you. Here, presence or absence of intervention, if it is yes, and that is a strong and resounding yes, mind you, it will be known as an interventional or an experimental study in which we are using something. Okay, interventional or experimental study. Yeah. Then, if no, then it will be known as a descriptive or an observational study. We are just observing, observational. Fine. Then, study objectives. In this interventional study, the study objective will be analytical. You are analyzing, and this is the highest level of evidence. I am going from descending, rather from up I am going down. This is highest RCT, which is the highest level of evidence. If I draw an arrow like this, okay, fine. Now, interventional is analytical. This is done. This is over. Done, dusted. We are done with intervention and we are finished with this. Clear? Now I'll be talking about the observational. Now, observational study objective can be of two types. Either it can be an analytical one, or it can be a descriptive or an objective one. Descriptive or objective one. Descriptive or objective. Descriptive or observational. Yeah, one and the same thing, right? Yeah. Then descriptive is a better term here. Or it can be an ecological. If it involves a huge amount of population, then it will be an ecological study. I'm clear so far, right? Cool. Then analytical is further subdivided into three subtypes. It can be a cohort. Cohort is at the top because it calculates incidents, the new persons. Cool, understood? Brilliant, beautiful. Case control is a retrospective. Case control is always retrospective. This you need to memorize by heart. But cohort can be a prospective, or it can also be a retrospective cohort study. Retrospective, you go back in time. बार बार देखो, horrible copy of that English movie. Go back in time. Or it can also be an analytical cross-sectional study. I don't have CS space here, I'll write it here. CS stands for cross-sectional. Cross-sectional study design. Analytical cross-sectional study. Now moving on to descriptive. Now obvious it is, if it is a descriptive, again it can either be analytical or a descriptive cross-sectional study design. Then we can move on to case series or case study. Case series is a higher level of evidence because it has a huge number of cases. Like I have published a case series in an international journal recently. So that is a case series. Finally, we'll be moving on to a case study. Only a single case. This is a lowest study of an lowest possible. And ecological I have told you in a higher population. Now talking about randomized control trials. What I wish to talk about is randomized control trials in great detail. So just stick with me. and we'll finish everything here itself. Yeah. So moving on to randomized controlled trial, clinical trial. This can be remembered very simple by the thing, can I swim? I cannot swim. I don't know how to swim. I got to learn swimming also while included in my hobbies. Randomized controlled trial, clinical trial. See, can I swim makes it extremely easy for you to remember. Can I swim? S, W, I and M. S is the first thing about anything we are concerned, everyone is concerned rather, it's safety. All of you know, right? Safety. If the drug is being introduced, if it is safety and acceptability. We introduce the drug in 50 healthy volunteers. Okay. After that, the next step here is, can I swim? SW. Does it work? Does the drug actually work? Does it work? That is long-term safety, dose, schedule. Early indications of efficacy can be seen. Early indications of efficacy can be seen, and it is done in a low-risk study. This is the diseased persons. Okay, it is a low-risk study. Low-risk population is taken. This is important. Does it work? Then, is there any improvement at all? Any improvement at all? That is effectiveness. This is extremely important. Can't stress it enough. Effectiveness, important MCQ question. This is done in a high risk of population. High risk, that means I'm talking about a population that is more than 1,000. Yeah, more than 1,000. Yeah. And now it has been launched. The Drug Controller General of India now continuously, there's a data safety monitoring board, also known as DSMB, which continuously keeps on monitoring that how are things going. So can I swim? Last is, can it stay in the market? Can the drug stay in the market, which will be measured by a post-marketing surveillance. Post-marketing surveillance, which is community based, and in this surveillance, this is also being done after the drug is introduced in the market for everyone to use, more than 1,000 population. Okay, bye. Pleasure talking.